My parents used to live in a small subdivision about 45 minutes outside of Seattle. According to them, it was a relatively normal middle-class development with decent neighbors. Of course, they were occasionally scream-filled arguments from the newlyweds across the street, but nothing one could consider out of the ordinary. Tonight, they explained to me why they moved across the country to the outskirts of New York. My dad was really good friends with the family right next door, but the breadwinners were offered a posh new job in upstate New York. "Damn it, Richie, so you're leaving us? Who's gonna host the 4th of July barbecue now?" He was pretty upset, but my mom said that he got over pretty quickly. 3 weekends later, the Snyder's house was put up for sale, and they were long gone. My mom didn't really get along with the wife, so she was really excited to see who would move in next door to them. But that excitement was short-lived. There was something off-putting about them. That was my mom's reaction the first time she saw the new neighbors. They were constantly smiling. 24/7. The smiles never left their faces, and they were whiter than bed sheets. Like they never went outside or something. My dad chimed in, "Yeah, and your mother wasn't being overly judgmental either. They just looked different. That's the only way I can describe it to you." They didn't just write them off, though. My parents aren't like that. After they were situated in our new home, my mom baked them cookies, and they both went over to introduce themselves. The new neighbors answered the door shoulder to shoulder, the thin-lipped smiles still plastered on their pale faces. My dad said they looked exhausted, but the grins still stayed. "Hi, how are you? We live right next door. We thought we'd introduce ourselves and welcome you to the neighborhood." "Thank you. Please come inside, sir and ma'am. We like you, and you are welcome here always." My parents stayed for about an hour, and during that time, barely any words were exchanged. They both tried asking questions about their careers, previous locations, etc., but the only things they said were very short and vague. The questions were never reciprocated. And they sat on their couch shoulder to shoulder the entire time, even when my parents left their house. We sort of waited for them to walk with us to the front door, but they just sat there. "Okay, that's really, really strange," I said. "Andrew, listen to us. That is just scratching the surface of who these people really were. The weeks that followed were surreal, terrifying. We decided we're just going to tell you everything, but you have to promise us that you won't be scared or anything." And I should have walked out of the room at this point. Things started to become odd the third day after they moved in. Before all of their boxes were even unpacked, the husband began painting their house exactly like my parents'. Theirs was a light cream color with a tint blue stripe around the perimeter, and by the end of the day, so was the house next door. Apparently, my parents didn't bring it up right away. The next day, my dad was out mowing the lawn, and so was the man. He was wearing the same hat and using the same brand and model of lawnmower. That upset me, so I sort of confronted him about it. I wasn't aggressive or anything, but I insinuated how there was no way that it was just a coincidence, especially since he had painted his house like mine the day before. He just looked at me with that ominous smile and didn't say a word. It was weirding both of us out, so we watched them intently for a few weeks. It just got more and more insane as the days went by. A week after the house painting incident, the neighbors next door decided to purchase a new vehicle, and you guessed it. It was the same car as my parents, a 1987 BMW 3 Series convertible in red. It was the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. The next day, my dad invited himself over to ask them some questions. "So I tagged along for the ride," my mom said. "I was just curious as to what they had to say about all this." When they got there, the neighbors opened the door shoulder to shoulder just like last time. Their smiles were wider than ever. "Welcome back, sir and ma'am." "Yeah, okay, can we talk for a second? I just need to ask you guys some things." "Yes, please come in." They stepped inside and sat down with them. "But we were just wondering why you like copying us. I honestly just want to mind my own business. But it's getting kind of weird. Wouldn't you agree?" They paused for a moment, looking at each other, and responded, "We like our neighbors. We like you." My dad noticed something was upsetting my mom at this point. Her face was flush, and she was grabbing his leg. "What's wrong?" She whispered to him under her breath, "James, we need to get out of here. We need to leave right now." Sorry, guys. We need to go. My wife isn't feeling very well. They left in a hurry. My dad was flustered with my mom asking her what the fuck was going on, why she got so upset all of a sudden. They got home and she slammed the door. Jesus Christ, James, Jesus Christ! What the hell is the matter? Can you please just tell me? My mom was almost in tears at this point. James, look into their bedroom. They had the door wide open, James. They have the same fucking bedroom as us. The comforter on the bed was the same pattern as ours. They have the same curtains on their windows. They have the same nightstand that we do. How the fuck would they know that? They've never been in our house before. What the fuck are you being serious right now? James, have they been inside of our house? I asked them why they didn't just go back there and actually confront them or call the police, but they told me they were just kind of in the denial stage. They didn't want to believe this was actually happening, but they knew it was. They knew exactly what was happening. Neither of them got very much sleep that night. Right before they went to bed, my dad set up an old VHS camcorder on a table in the corner of their room facing their bedroom door. I just had to know, he said. My dad pulled out an old cardboard box full of tapes and popped one into our VHS player. Watch this. He fast-forwarded the tape till about an hour in. And I was in disbelief. The video showed the copycat neighbors standing at the edge of my parents' bed, shoulder to shoulder. Their smiles were gone. Instead, they had a murderous look on their faces, wrinkled and contorted. They stood there, just watching my parents through the night, until the grainy video cut out 3 hours in. I nearly had a heart attack when I watched that tape the next morning. I was scared, and then extremely angry. I grabbed my baseball bat and sprinted over to their house. No one was answering, so I beat the door down. Jesus. What did you do to them? I asked. They were gone. All their stuff was neatly boxed up in the living room. The BMW was still there, but they had gone and never come back. We filed a police report that day. After we showed them the video, they worked extremely hard to find these people, whoever the hell they were, but there were no leads. The information they used to buy the house and the car was stolen from another couple from Arkansas, and there was nothing else on them. We got the hell out of that neighborhood and moved over here for peace of mind. Oh my God. I'm not even sure what to think right now. I'm so sorry. I was truly at a loss for words. I asked them why they waited so long to tell me this story. Remember our old neighbor, Richard Snyder, that we were talking about? Your dad still keeps in touch with him. Occasionally. Okay? He called last night and told us that he has some new neighbors. The third day that they were there, they painted their house just like his.